Happy Monday, Nate's Live Talk. Hope everyone's having a great day. Please like, share, subscribe. Got a little bit of Celtics action today. We're going to have a video about Larry Legend, the hick from French Lick. I'm sick of people talking shit about Larry Bird. A lot of analysts, a lot of fucking young people like to talk shit about Larry. I had it. How's my shit look? Good. I'm sick of people talking shit about Larry Bird, the basketball player. I'm talking about Larry, the basketball player. I know he's had some stuff in his personal stuff, but they're talking shit about his basketball. And it's not right. It's not accurate. It's a load of shit. They probably never watched a video about Larry or looked at the stats or heard what people said of him. So we're going to break down Larry Bird's career. I could make a 10-hour video about this. I'm going to try and make it quick. But let's look at it. 6'9", 220. The hick from French Lick, Indiana. Played college ball, Indiana State. By himself, had nobody on his team but him, I'm sure. Let's see. He came in the league in 79-80 and played from 91 to 92. I'm going to go through his statistics quickly. He had a 13-year career. 79 and 80. 21 points a game. 10.4 rebounds. 4.5 assists. Rookie of the year. 80-81. 21 points. 11 rebounds. 5.5 assists. 81-82. 23 points. 11 rebounds. Just under 6 assists. 82-83. 24 points. 11 rebounds. Just under 6 assists. 5.8 both of those years. 83-84. 29 points a game. 10 rebounds a game. 6.6 assists. 84-85. 26 points a game. 10.5 rebounds. 6.6 assists. 85-86. 28 points a game. 10 rebounds a game. 6.8 assists. 86-87. 30 points a game. 9.2 rebounds. 7.6 assists. 87-88. 30 points a game. 9.2 rebounds. 6.1 assists. In 89, he played 6 games. He was hurt. It was the only year he played, was injured in his whole career, really. 89-90, 24 points per game. 9.5 rebounds. 7.5 assists. 90-91, he played 60 games. 19 points, 8.5 rebounds, 7.2 assists. And in 91-92, he played 45 games. He was really beat up from like 85 on, honestly. But in 91-92, he played 45 games. He averaged 20 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 7 assists. You guys fucking nuts. He averaged almost a triple-double his career. You gotta be... Are you delusional? And he played against Magic. The Lakers, the best Lakers team ever. I don't care what anyone says. He played against in the 80s. He got a championship against them. He played against the Detroit Pistons teams that took out Michael Jordan. Those teams. Jordan never beat Larry. Never beat the Celtics teams with Larry in the playoffs. He played against Dr. J, and them Philly teams were tough. He played against Houston. Those teams were tough. He played in the toughest era the NBA ever saw, in my opinion, the 80s and 90s. Not much of the 90s, but the 80s was tough, man. It's not like today. You guys think these guys have like... The top player back then made $200,000 a year. These guys weren't making money like now. They didn't have the amenities they have now. It wasn't cushy. And fucking these guys weren't catered to, man. They packed them in buses and planes and shit. And the guys that weren't big names worked jobs in the off season and shit. It was a whole different type of fucking era. And it was tougher. The fouls were harder. There weren't as many fouls called. You could get away with a lot more holding. The game was much more physical. Much, much, much more physical. Way more physical. You guys got to stop talking shit without knowing what's going on. Go watch some of these games, please, without running your mouth, because it's not right. And Larry Bird killed himself, man. He'd be diving all over the floor. He'd be fist fighting with people. There were fist fights in games constantly in the playoffs when I was a kid. He was a 50% shooter for his career. He attempted just under 20 shots per game. 3 or 4 threes at least, I believe. 88% free throw shooter. The three-point line was like almost 24 feet back then. It's not nearly as far away as it used to be. Excuse me. He averaged a block and 2 steals for his career. He had 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in 5 seasons. Second most ever. Very underrated passer. Flick passes, between the leg passes, touch passes. He'd hit shots from behind the rim. The ball be going out of bounds. He'd grab it and throw it over the rim. Shoot from the baseline, behind the rim. Cash. You guys got to stop talking shit about people that are goats. He's a goat, dude. And this is proof. I'm going to prove it right here. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. He played in wars, absolute wars against those Pistons, Lakers, Sixers teams. He was the rookie of the year. Dude, the other team used to cheer for him. In a game he dropped 60 against, the whole fucking Atlanta team was cheering for him on the bench. Watch the highlights if you type it in on YouTube. The fucking guys are falling down laughing at the players on their own team. Larry's calling his shots. He was shooting it left-handed. He played a game left-handed. He'd get bored. He was rookie of the year. He won it all. He had 3 championships, won it all in 81, 84, and 86 against tough competition. He only missed, before I get too far ahead of myself, his first 9 years in the league, he only missed 19 games, and he broke his fucking back in 85. 19 games he missed in the first 9 years of his career. Nobody does that shit anymore. He was the MVP in 84, 85, and 86 of the league. Probably the 3 toughest years the league existed. At least up till then. He was the finals MVP in 84 and 86, and probably should have been in 81. Cornbread Johnson got it. Maxwell got it. He was named to the All-NBA second team 2 times, 9-time first-team player, 12-time All-Star. He was an All-Star MVP. Jordan never beat Larry Celtics, like I said. He had the most steals ever in a playoff game with 6. He was the AP Athlete of the Year in 1987. He's won a Lifetime Achievement Award. He's the National College Player of the Year with 0 help. Check my shit. Battled versus the toughest Lakers teams. His numbers retired at the Boston Garden. That don't happen to everyone. They're running out of numbers, but it don't happen to everyone. He was on the Dream Team, the original one, the real one. He destroyed himself with effort. He used to dive all over him. He fractured his face. I'll tell you about that later. He's said to be the toughest and smartest player by countless people if you look it up. He had 21,791 points, 8,974 career rebounds, and 5,695 career assists, and wasn't right for half of his career. Broke his back in 85 working on his mom's driveway. He's one of the only people that's a member of the 50-40-90 club. Look into that. He made huge plays in the playoffs. He made a steal like Havlicek did, and to save the Celtics against the Pistons. And there's a steal by Bird underneath the DJ. He stole the ball off Isaiah, I want to say, or one of them. Isaiah was in the play. Isaiah was no slouch. Those Piston teams didn't beat Jordan for nothing. You guys are nuts talking about Larry the way you guys do. And Bird and Magic saved the NBA. It was ready to collapse. He impacted the game on such a level, and him and Magic being friends changed society greatly. I don't think people realized it. It divided it a little bit too, but they were buddies, man. They're like best friends. They had a societal impact, and they saved the league. The NBA would not be what it is today without Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. I don't care what anyone says. He had 47 40-point games. He told the other team's coaches they that they couldn't. They like, you gonna have him guard me? He talked massive amounts of shit. He had a double game winner where they called a timeout by accident and they ran the same play twice. And he told Xavier McDaniels what he was gonna do and hit the shot twice and won the fucking game from the same spot on the same play. And they knew it was coming. He never won a scoring title, but I think that just goes to show he's a great team player. He did a lot of other shit. You know, it's like the LeBron thing. People hate on LeBron, but he does a lot of other shit. This is something I love about Larry. He would tip other people's, like if he went to a restaurant, he would tip the cooks better than the waiters and waitresses. And people would get mad. And he'd go, why? They cooked the meal. Great point. He played massive head games, very funny and witty, very smart. Anything Larry Bird lacked for physically, he made up for with his mind and his effort. He fucking talked massive shit winning 3-point contests and blew everyone away. Walked into the place and left his jacket on and asked who's coming in second. Made so many impossible shots. Larry Bird said there would be another Larry Bird at his retirement ceremony. Magic Johnson said, no, Larry, there will never be another Larry Bird. I think that says a lot. To be respected by your peers. Who cares what other people think? But to be respected by your biggest rival, I think says a lot. After his playing years, he won Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year. He played games left-handed sometimes. I know he played at least one left-handed. He played through so many injuries people don't realize. From 85 on, he wasn't right. And he still won one in 86. He was so beat up, he would have to lay down on his stomach on the sideline after he hurt his back. He was never quit. He never quit. He was hurt bad in college. I didn't know this until I researched it. He snapped his finger really bad going for a ball in college, trying to catch a ball that was like around his ankles. Snapped his finger, and they said it was hurt so bad it was shaped like a boomerang, and they said it was never right again. And that happened before he was in the NBA. And Larry said his finger never felt right again. So it makes you wonder, could he have been better? Could he have been a better shooter? In 85, he broke his back, putting driveway at his mom's house. He grew up very poor. His father was a veteran that struggled badly with PTSD and alcoholism. So I think Larry always, he was worried about money all the time and shit, I would imagine. That's why he worked on it. And it was probably a good workout. He probably never foresaw that happening, but he literally broke his back doing it. From 88 to 92, he was hard to talk to, reporters say. He never felt right. It was hard to get close to him. And so he kind of got a negative feed for that. Robert Parrish said he never saw Larry take a painkiller or a shot for his injuries. From 86 to 92, this is with a broken back, or his back not right. Here's the numbers. 25.1 points per game, 9.3 rebounds, 7 assists per game, 49.5% from the field, 39.4% from three-point land, and 91.1% from the free throw line with a broken back. In 91, he fractured his face versus the Pistons in the playoffs. I remember watching it as a little kid. And back then, there was only 5 games in the first round of the playoffs. So it was 2-2, and the Celtics were playing the Pacers with a young Reggie. They had Chuck Persons, Detlef Shrimp, I think, at the time. They were good. They were starting to come into their own, coming into the Reggie Miller years back then. And he fractures his face in the first half of the game. He goes into the locker room. The fucking garden is like a mouse. Quiet as a mouse. And he comes back in at halftime in the third quarter, comes running out while the game's going on. They put him back into the game. He dominated the last 18 minutes after a fracture in his face in his last year in the league. In 18 minutes left in the game, he scored 17 points. He got 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot 60% from the field, and they won. In his last year, all broken down, beat the shit. He played only 45 games, like I said, and they still found a way to make the playoffs. He gives tons of props to today's players. He's like one of the only OGs I hear say good things about Luka, and a lot of people hate on this era because people think they're soft and entitled and shit. Larry always giving props to the young guys. Look it up. Look all this shit up. Please. I wish I could put it all in the background. I don't want to deal with the copyright shit. I'm not lying to you. You can all look this up. The Eastern Conference Finals MVP award is now called the Larry Bird Trophy. The Western Conference Final MVP award is now called the Magic Johnson Trophy. When they asked Larry about what it meant to him to get the trophy named after him, he said, "I wish I could win one of those Magic Johnson trophies." That's pretty cool. He's a funny bastard. They were just great friends to this day. And look at the body Larry Bird had to work with. Not for nothing. It's not like he was built like LeBron or Jordan or. I don't think there's ever been an athlete that might have done more with less. I mean, he had height and shit and good hands, great hands. Such an underrated passer. Go watch Larry Bird pass the ball. It's fucking amazing. I knew he was good. I forgot how great he was. He wasn't good. He was great. Phenomenal. He had eyes in the back of his head. He tapped passes everywhere, off rebounds. There would be a pass coming to him, and he'd just tap it, bop, tap it. It's just amazing shit. You really got to go watch the footage. Him and Magic, I think, are the two most important players the NBA has ever had. And that the NBA was going out of business back then. They really were. They changed everything. The marketing, the shoes, just everything. They changed everything about the NBA. It would be a totally different league. It might not even be a league anymore if Larry and Magic didn't exist. If them two never existed, I tell you. Kareem said Larry was his best opponent. Rodman said he always made him look stupid. Michael Cooper said he was a nightmare. That his defense saved him all the time. J.J. Redick said some good things about Larry, but he said Larry wasn't a top three-point shooter. J.J. Redick's out of his fucking tits. He needs his head checked. I'm sick of J.J. Redick talking shit. He was a good player. He was a good three-point shooter. He played solid D. He was a very good college ball player. Much better basketball player than I am. All these guys are, obviously. But he can get fucked. Larry is fucking... He couldn't shine Larry Bird's shoes, in my opinion. We're talking massive shit. I would love to see J.J. Redick and Larry Bird matched up. Larry Bird would fucking eat J.J. Redick for lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and then ask him for some dessert after. Maybe a cup of tea and a fucking nightcap. Watch what you... J.J., come on. You're not that fucking stupid. You don't need the money that bad to talk like that. Come on. What, ESPN put you up to it? Rumor is right now is J.J. Redick might be the fucking Lakers head coach. I love it. I hope they get that fucking Momo as the Lakers coach. That would make my day. That would make my day. LeBron has Bird in his top 3. All you young people that hate on Larry. Your favorite player says he's one of the 3 best ever, in his opinion. Shows how much you know. Look it up on YouTube. The video's out there. The whole Lakers team from the 80s say he was the toughest opponent they ever faced. Gary Payton said he was the coldest and smartest and talked the hottest shit ever. Gary Payton's no fucking joke. They don't call him the glove for nothing. Watch his interviews on Larry. He's got a bunch of shit out talking about Larry. bunch of shit out talking about Larry. He talked massive amounts of shit, and you know that all them guys made fun of him because he was a goofy white dude. All the shit's out there. You can watch it. Excuse me. He told Dominique, you can do whatever you want, bro. You're a good young player. You're very athletic. But I'm getting 30 or more winning. And he would tell him that before every game, and he would back it up. MJ said he's the greatest, one of the greatest ever, and by far the greatest white NBA player ever. He's above everyone else in the game, and he's above the game. He said he was so smart. He's never seen a smarter player. So you guys stop talking shit about things you know nothing about. The fucking goats are telling you Larry's a goat. So just stop it. These guys in the 80s played a way more physical game. The life was different. They didn't have the luxuries these guys have now. They would be on fucking buses and planes. I got a story about it. There was a game that the Celtics were left on a bus and train or playing in a bus all day, playing against Jersey. And Larry was fucking pissed. The whole team was pissed. He had to eat hot dogs all day and shit. And fucking his back and everything. He was cramped in the bus and the plane all day. They went right to the arena because there wasn't time to get to the hotel. And he goes out and they're having a team meeting before the game. And he goes, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on them. Right? Fucking Mikhail's like, all right, Larry's going to take it out on him. Let's go, guys. They go out. They get ready to have the tip-off. Larry goes up to one of the fucking New Jersey players. He goes, I know it's not your fault, but I've been eating hot dogs all day, and you guys are going to pay for it. And he dropped 30 and almost a triple-double in a blowout. And there's so much more. There's so much more, but that's just some stuff for you. Stop hating on Larry Bird, young people. Get your facts straight. He's your favorite player's favorite player. Bron put him in his top 3. And you guys are going to fucking talk smack. Larry Bird played now, dude. He'd be raining threes down. Raining threes down. I really believe it. I really believe it. It's a whole different area for these guys, man. And he grew up rough. He grew up in a rough environment, man. He grew up in a rough time. He had nothing. He lost his dad young in an awful way. A lot of these guys come from that shit. But look what he did with the body he had. And he went up against studs, man. Studs. And he definitely made the players around him better. I know Bird had some help and stuff, but they don't win any of that shit without him. Not one. The Celtics weren't good enough to beat the Lakers without Larry Bird. They wouldn't have made it to any of those finals, I don't think, without him. If you get rid of Michaela Parrish, I think they still could have with Larry. Stop hating on Larry. That's what I got to say. I thought this was a fun video to make. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys let me know. I'm going to leave the comments up for this one. You guys let me know your opinion. If people get stupid, I will take them down. Let's try and have a good time, not harass anyone, talk some shit and have some fun. I don't want to keep doing that, but I will if I have to. Be nice to each other. Love each other. Have a great week. Please like, share, subscribe. Nate's Live Talk on YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram, Nate's Live Talk. And if you need to get a hold of me, Nate's Live Talk at yahoo.com. Put some fucking respect on Larry Bird's name. Go Celtics. Go Bruins. I love you guys. Peace, love, and light. Have a great week. We'll do something else tomorrow. See you later.